All right, so this is what we're going to talk about today on Food Buffet Report. Bill's just looking at the pictures right now. It's the first time he's seeing them, so I'm just going to, and I haven't told him anything about this episode, so this is going to be a real edge of your seat kind of like, wow, I don't know what's coming up next, but you're going to want to stay tuned to Food Buffet Report for all the exciting stuff that's coming.
This coffee's hurting my stomach.
Welcome to another episode of Food Buffet Report. Today, we are talking about a buffet called the Village Loft that used to exist in one of Canada's largest shopping malls, Yorkdale Shopping Centre. We just called it Yorkdale. And this restaurant was a buffet restaurant that used to be attached to the Eaton's department store. So this restaurant was on the second level, but as you can see, it was contained in those giant flowers.
Oh, so those are like balconies where people are eating?
Yeah, so in each of those rounded parts, there was a booth.
Oh, yeah.
And so people would get up from there and they'd go and get their food, and then they'd come back and sit there, and they could turn around and they could watch all of the people shopping down below.
So are those Canadians, those people?
They should be, unless somehow in the photograph, maybe some Americans came to visit and got captured in the photograph. But I would assume that the majority of those people are probably Canadians.
So this was a big buffet restaurant. Look at the seating. I love those lofted seats.
This restaurant is so long forgotten, and it existed such a long time ago that I don't even know if any other photographs of it exist. But if you grew up in Toronto in the 70s and 80s.
I didn't.
Shut up.
Yorkdale Mall.
And you lived in Toronto and you went to Yorkdale Mall, you might remember eating at this restaurant, complete with full buffet and carvery. And I used to eat there with my parents a lot. Whenever we went to Yorkdale, we would eat there. And I would eat a lot of roast beef.
That word itself and that station, because that would be a station at the buffet, the carvery. You'd have a heat lamp. You'd have a cutting board. You'd have au jus. They'd always ask if you wanted that.
Yeah.
Did you get au jus?
Yes. And they also had a thicker gravy.
And horseradish a lot of times.
I didn't eat that.
Wonder if there's any celebrities eating in this picture.
Look at the architecture, though.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Now, would you have to reserve those little special tables that are in the overlooking the mall? And did you ever launch like a piece of like roast beef fat or like a piece of whole roast beef off there into the shoppers below? Because that would have been great.
No, I didn't. I always remember having to wait. Whenever we got there was always a lineup.
Wow.
So it was a very busy restaurant.
So you'd go shopping, then you'd be tired from shopping, and you would go there and have a nice meal. I love it. What's that lady? The one lady has a white hat and her eyes are hollow. She has like black hollowed out eyes. She's like a ghoul.
Maybe she's one of those time travelers that just ends up in photographs and nobody knows who she is or where she came from. And
there's a lost kid there. I see she has a blue dress. She's lost. Nothing more terrifying, and it's happened to all of us, being lost at the mall. Or in your case, Aaron, when you were little, left at the mall. Like a lot of times your parents would leave you at the mall, hoping, and you'd always find your way back. So this girl is lost. She's at the end of the table of another family, And I think her mom is walking down with a bunch of 2 bags. She's coming to get her daughter who's lost in the buffet at Eaton's in Yorkdale Mall. The more I look at this, the more terrifying this picture is. You start to dig deep into it. Let's take a look at the Corvette picture now. There's the guy with his family. His wife looks very upset. I guess most marriages in Canada are not happy marriages because she does not look happy. She's pushing a cart filled with things. So she's got plenty of stuff. It's not, she doesn't want for anything, but she's still unhappy.
And the guy that she's with, who has his hand on his hip, he's looking at the Corvette and he's probably thinking, gee, I wish I had one of those. And she's probably like, stop looking at that car and focus on being a better father.
And a husband. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I just realized that her cart is actually filled with garbage.
I don't know if you notice another thing, that this photograph is actually a photograph of a photograph. This photograph is displayed in a display case at Yorkdale Mall. And if you look very, very carefully, a lady in a pink jacket is actually taking a photograph of this photograph. And you can see the reflection of her pink jacket in the front quarter panel of the Corvette. You see it?
I do see it. Everyone is looking at that Corvette, though. It's like it's really drawing their attention.
Like that other guy with the white pants.
Yeah, he turned around to do like a double take.
I can't tell if that's a guy or a woman. He's turning around and looking at the Corvette, and he's got his kid in a stroller. And, you know, while he has his back turned, anybody could just come along and lift the kid right out of the stroller.
The front wheel's broken on that stroller. The left wheel.
Yeah.
It's broken. He's looking at a car and like, I wish I could buy that car, yet he has a broken stroller with his kid who's not even strapped in. And that kid is way too big for the stroller. That's like a stroller for like an infant, and that kid's like 7. What about the sports car accessories booth? Like if you get the car, you meet, it's like, well, if I'm going to buy the car, I'm going to need some accessories. And there it is.
Have a look at the flagpole that's coming up from the sports car accessories booth. And you see it has a flag on it that says Players. Do you know what that is? You know what Players is? It's a Canadian cigarette brand.
Wow. Below the Eaton cafeteria, there's a skating rink.
Yeah, no, that's not a skating rink. That's just
it is a skating rink because it's fucking Canada.
Okay.
And there's probably hockey players down there, and they're skating in the mall. Is it a skating rink? It is.
Well, if I say no, you're going to argue with me. So I'll just agree with everything you say. The show's really long, and I think we
wore it out. It's done.
I think we need to end it.
Do you have is there a famous cafeteria or buffet that resides in your hometown that is as stupid as Aaron's that was in Toronto in the 70s? I bet there was. Let us know. We love old buffets. We love new buffets that will soon be old and extinct. We love all buffets, and you should love them too. And that's what our show's all about.
Thanks for watching. See you next week.